bitch on that beat, going crazy.
Good morning, Hamptonians, and welcome to our NHAA Inc. alumni meeting for the reunion weekend. Very happy to have all of you all joining. We have a robust agenda for us to go through that includes an update from our Vice President around the reunion this year, and then also some updates from our alumni giving chairs. And then I'll also give you an update as the NHAA President. Before we get started, I would like us to pause for a moment of prayer.
If you will assume your position of prayer. Lord, we come as Hamptonians this morning to hear and to see the great works that have been done over the past years, to celebrate those who are in reunion this year, and to celebrate every Hamptonian across this universe. Lord God, we thank you for this day. We will not forget to give you the praise as we continue to lift up our alma mater, Hampton University. We ask that you would continue to give us strength in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you so much for the prayer. So I think what's first up, and we will have moments for questions. So if you have any questions that you have for any of us presenting, please be sure to put those in the chat below, and they'll get back to us, and we'll make sure that those get answered. So again, as I mentioned before, this is our reunion weekend meeting. Congratulations to those of you that are in reunion this weekend. I'm really excited to continue to see the different events that are coming out across the time of the weekend. So I'm going to share a few of our NHAA updates with you. First off, I want to congratulate our board for pulling off quite a few different accomplishments over the time when we've had to do everything virtually based. So for those that don't recall, early on in the COVID season, we had a virtual party that we did on Facebook Live, which was a good time with some of our alumni DJs that participated. From there, we also developed the C-Suite panel, which was the idea of a young alum that we've had 3 different panels. One was a panel of alum from entertainment and media, as well as technology, and then diversity, equity, and inclusion. We are looking to host our next one on May 20th, and that will be with executives in healthcare. So mark your calendar, and if you or anyone you know is interested in being on the panel related to that, please reach out to us. Really excited about those C-Suite panels because they include seasoned alumni as panelists, but the moderator is usually a young alum. So it has been serving as a really important information for not only alumni, but also current students have been joining into these panels as well to hear more about the careers that they could be going into. So it really is a great opportunity for us to give back to the students as well as alumni. We also did, before the election in November, we did a Get Out the Vote panel where we had some alum that are in the political arena or work in that realm, and where they spoke to us about some of the things that cause people not to vote or what to do, and all of those kind of pushbacks that come from getting out there to vote. And that was led by Lainey, our vice president, who pushed that through. And that was a great panel as well. So we've been really doing a lot of things to push or make our presence there virtually. So really excited about those different events that we've had. We've also done a large push through our corresponding secretary, Victoria Cotter, to build out our social media social media presence, my bad. on out there. So our Instagram has grown quite a bit, and we've been doing a lot of things to reach out and get in touch with more alum, and including our newsletters that have started to come out fairly regularly. So really excited about the reach that we have now, and we're starting to touch a lot of alumni over the course of time. So it's been a great year in that regard as it relates to correspondence. The other thing that I was really focused on is trying to increase the amount of scholarships that we could give to students. And so what we have done is we've done two things. One, we already had an NHAA endowed scholarship fund. We have expanded that NHAA endowed scholarship fund to include students that weren't just freshmen. So in the past, it used to be only for freshman students. And then if that freshman student in the following years, the scholarship is for the full 4 years. And if, say, in their junior year, they didn't meet the grade requirements, they would then lose the scholarship. And then we would not backfill that individual scholarship amount to another student. Now we do backfill anytime a student falls off, if they leave from the school, if they can't meet the requirements and no longer are eligible, then we add in students to fill those spots. So we are still providing funding to more students than just the ones that came in through the initial freshman endowed scholarship. The other thing that we've done that I'm quite proud of is that we created a student emergency fund. And we created that back in September of 2019 to help out with students that come into school and maybe have a few thousand that they're short and they're trying to get financially cleared. They've exhausted all their financial options and really want to get into school and have the grades, et cetera, but just don't have that short amount of money to be able to get in. And so what we have built is an emergency fund for students to apply to. And we're still fundraising for that. We started fundraising for that over the course of 2020. So far, we've raised over $14,000 for that fund, which is really exciting. We did a lot of the fundraising for that during that virtual party that I spoke about before. And so we're going to, we're continuing to fundraise for that now. If you're interested in giving to that emergency student fund, the link will be placed into the chat. If not, and then it's also on our NHAAinc.org website to donate. So really proud of the board for us for their work to increase the amount of scholarships that we're able to give to students or funds that we will. The other thing that is coming out is that we've been working on is revamping our Pirate Perks program. In the past, Pirate Perks was really focused in on giving us different discounts as it relates to companies. We still get some benefit from Geico, which you can go onto our website as well to click the link to be able to participate and get some benefits from Geico. And some other companies are going to be added shortly. But the big thing that we've added with the Pirate Perks is that we're going to build out a Hampton owned business directory. And so we're doing that. That is launching actually this week. So you'll probably be getting an email from the NHAA Inc. that is going to talk about what you need to do in order to be featured as a business. One of the key things is that the owner needs to be an active member of a chapter. So if you are going to apply to be shared on our business directory, that'll be on our website, as well as shared on our social media feeds, you do need to be a active paying dues member of a chapter. So this is something that we've been wanting to do so that we can make sure we have a listing of all of our Hampton-owned businesses for those individuals that want to support. So really excited about getting that launched. So you'll see some communications coming up about that shortly. The next thing that I would like to talk about that we've been working on since I came into office in 2018 is increasing our technology reach and what we do. And clearly here we are on YouTube and having our NHAA meeting virtually. I don't think if this happened prior to now, we would have been able to pull this off, but our technology co-chairs, Kai Henry and Mark Johnson, have done a great job of bringing us up to the up to date as it relates to technology. So we have reconnected and gotten everything cleared up as it relates to what's on the Hampton site versus what's on the NHAA site. We've changed some of the things on our website. We've built out this live stream ability that we're doing here. And also developed another one that we could do separate if we wanted to have some different types of live streams. We also have increased the capabilities of what we can do behind the scenes through the Google Suite program or Google Suite products. And that's because our co-chairs just got us the Google Suite for free because we're a nonprofit. And that's something that we didn't know. I wouldn't know because I'm not technology based, but that was something that we didn't know that we could do. So now we have a Google Suite of products. We have our own email grouping. So we're able to connect with all the chapter presidents and those involved in the chapter. So we're really excited about that. And then we have this YouTube piece. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do, because that can be another source of funding for us to provide scholarships and funding to students. So really excited about our technology capabilities as well. And many thanks to Kai, who's handling this today, and Mark, who are the co-chairs. You're going to hear more from our alumni giving co-chairs shortly as we go through the what they have to share, but also some great work going on that front as well. So what do I've been in office since 2018. My term ends in 2022, and it has been a great time so far. So what's left for the next year? I think the things that I want to really make sure we focus on over the next course of the year of our term as a board is continuing to build out those scholarships. So we're going to really be doing a push to increase the fundraising for our emergency student fund and our NHAA endowed scholarships. So we'll be looking for you as alumni to give to those two funds. We are going to do it via, fingers crossed that everything goes well with opening up, but we're going to do it through an alumni gala, which we're really excited to be planning. Well, technically we've been planning it for like 2 years, but COVID. So we've had to adjust it a few different times, but we're looking to do that and build out our fundraising so that we can have a really well-funded emergency fund before my term is complete, so that can continue on for the whoever comes next. And that's also part of the things that we need to be working on as over the course of this year, is making sure that individuals know the election process and how to go through to perhaps run for a position on the board or a position on your chapter's board, because all of the chapters as well as the national will be going through elections in the next year. So if you're interested in that, please start thinking about that. And then the other thing that I really want us to start working on is increasing our new chapter development. We've already started having some conversations with Brooklyn, and Boston is looking to get come back on as a chapter. So I'm really looking for us to start to look at different areas that we may not have chapters in, and looking to see if we can develop some chapters in different areas. So that is one of the big things that I want us to focus on in the next year. And that also comes with looking at how we do our dues structure. So we've been talking about perhaps doing a virtual or national dues program to build out some of the funds and also welcome in those alum that may live in areas that aren't connected to a chapter. But you can still currently join as a member at large if you live in an area that does not have a chapter. If you have any questions on that or want to join as a member at large, that's also on the NHAAinc.org website. We're also going to continue our virtual presence. I think what we've learned is that these, they have a far reach and they are impactful. And like I said, they are reaching students as well. So we're going to continue our C-suite events. So if you have any ideas of different topics or people to showcase, or I'm sorry, careers to showcase, not people, I think that would be great to share as well. So I'm always down to hear different ideas. Anyone that has reached out to us about this, we've moved forward. So it's not just for the board to figure out what the next ones are. It's for you, the people, as well, to give towards that. And then I think the main thing that I'd like to be able to provide as we're moving through the next through 2022 is, knowing that that is the last year for President Harvey as our president, to be there to support in any way that we can in that transition as a board, and make sure that we do celebrate all the service and time that President Harvey has given to our alma mater. So with that, I'm going to pause here. I'm sure there probably are some questions that people have for me. I'll take those questions at the end. So just throw your questions into the chat. They are the people in the background are compiling them, and so we'll get to those. But I'm going to pass it now to Lainey to give us an update as it relates to the reunion.
Thank you, President Pemberton. I really want to thank you for your stellar leadership, especially during this time of pandemic. Good morning to all. I wish you all a very happy reunion weekend. I would like to say congratulations to the classes in reunion. We celebrate the classes this year ending in 1 and 6. So congratulations to you all. We also salute and give a very special congratulations to our golden class, the class of 1971. And we're also congratulating this year, again, the class of 1970, who will also be inducted this evening. So, just a very sound and strong congratulations from NHAA to you all. This year, we're also giving a very heartfelt thanks to all that served as reunion leaders. We thank you for your service in organizing your class members and, reaching out and staying connected to people during pandemic just to see how they're doing in and above, raising funds and being of service to Hampton University. So we thank you to all that organized, and we thank you for organizing and for supporting NHAA in that endeavor and for coordinating with the Office of Alumni Affairs as you do. And so at that time, we want to recognize all reunion leaders for in addition, for a recap of all reunion weekend events. I just note that there have been a number of emails from the Office of Alumni Affairs. So please look to those for any links in order to sign in for events. Just a reminder that all free events that the Office of Alumni Affairs will be sponsoring this year, you can find those events on their YouTube channel or also on their Facebook page. That information should have been shared to you all by email. If you have any questions surrounding that, please reach out prior to the events. As a recap for what's happening today, after this NHAA meeting, I know that at 11 o'clock, from 11 to 12:30, the Golden Class will have its President's Brunch. So that is one of the events happening today. There is also a reunion celebration happening this evening from 5 to 6:30. And the Emeritus Elite Affair is happening this evening from 7 to 9 p.m. So those are the events for today. Tomorrow, there will be the NHAA Memorial that is happening from 9 to 10 a.m. The Golden Class will have a tribute from 12 to 1 p.m. And then the class of 2021 will have its tribute from 3 to 4 p.m. So we look forward to your attendance and your support of those events as you are available. Next, we would like to take the time to congratulate all of our NHAA award recipients this year. We had a robust process where we reviewed awards for chapters and for alumni merit recipients. And so at this time, it gives me great delight as the chair of the awards committee to recognize all that were awarded awards and plaques this year. So we will provide chapter awards to the Northern Virginia chapter and also to the Richmond chapter. The Northern Virginia chapter is led by President Michelle Hudgens, and during the award timeframe, the Northern Virginia chapter engaged in a number of noteworthy activities by exceeding their Day of Giving fundraiser goals and held their annual Dinner Dance fundraiser and other events to raise over $60,000 for local scholarships. In addition, we congratulate that chapter for having a Founders Day observance and for recruiting new members, including a number of recent graduates. The Northern Virginia chapter has also been very active in supporting the Alfred Street Baptist Church HBCU Recruitment Fair, which reaches over 10,000 high school students each year and connects them with HBCUs. So a heartfelt congratulations to the Northern Virginia chapter members and their president, Michelle Hudgens. Please also join me in congratulating the Richmond chapter, and that is Richmond, Virginia, and they are led by President Patricia Perry. Despite the challenges of the pandemic, the Richmond chapter made concerted efforts to make an impact in the areas of communication, member engagement, programs, and fundraising. The chapter met their fundraising goals, participated in community service activities, and recruited new members, all in a virtual environment. Lastly, the chapter launched a new program aimed at bridging generational gaps and addressing social isolation issues experienced by current students by facilitating virtual events aimed at connecting students with chapter members. At this time, we would like to give a heartfelt congratulations to the Richmond, Virginia chapter and their president, Patricia Perry. Thank you. At this time, we will also congratulate Kelly Boyer, who is the recipient of the 2021 Alumni Merit Award. Kelly is a graduate of the class of 1991 and is a human resources professional with a Bachelor of Science degree in marketing from Hampton University and a master's degree in human resources management. Kelly, as you know, is an active member of NHAA. She has served previously as the president of the Northern Virginia chapter and currently serves as the president of the Mid-Atlantic region. At this time, we congratulate Kelly for her service. Thank you, Kelly, and congratulations. Our recent graduate award recipient is Michael Ely Jr., who is an honors graduate of the class of 2018 with a Bachelor of Science degree in business marketing. While at Hampton, Michael was a member of the Greer Dawson Wilson Student Leadership Program and president of the Hampton University chapter of the American Marketing Association. Michael serves as the regional chaplain for the North Carolina region and is also active in the local chapter there. We congratulate Michael and thank you for your service as a recent graduate award recipient. Congratulations. Next, at this time, I would like to thank all of those who served on the awards committee, and those members were Norma Haytok King and Tara Oglesby. Thank you for reviewing our application packets, for commenting and providing your support to me as the awards chair, and we look forward to additional support next year. I would also like to say a very special thank you to the Office of Alumni Affairs, especially Brent Martin, Patty Bolton, and Joan Wickham for all that they do in supporting our efforts for the awards committee and also for reunion weekend and planning activities and assisting us. Thank you very much, ladies. This concludes my report, and I wish you all a very happy reunion weekend.
Thanks so much, Lainey. It was a great update. Really appreciate that. So for now, we'll go over to our alumni giving co-chairs, Jeff Silverthorne and Tyel Hayes, for an update.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. We are so happy to be here. Jeff and I love connecting with the broad alumni base to talk about the things that we're doing from alumni giving. So just want to start off by giving an introduction for those of you guys who don't know us, and then we can jump right into our presentation. I'm Tyel Hayes. I'm one of the alumni giving co-chairs, proud member of the class of 1998, contestants 3, and I live in New Jersey, and I'm a member of the North Jersey chapter.
Good morning and welcome to our presentation for the day. We're going to give you an update on our activities here in the alumni giving area. Next slide.
All right, so we're going to jump into our presentation. I will say I cannot hear Jeff.
So today we'd like to share with you some of the strategies that we are currently using with the actual alumni giving area. We're going to discuss three different things. We're going to talk about driving giving back to Hampton University via a partnership with the Office of Alumni Affairs. We're going to also talk about driving NHAA chapter engagement. And then we're going to talk about how you can bolster NHAA chapter giving.
Great. And then, and really we're going to
Next
focus
slide.
then on also really thinking about how do we drive some of these actions? How do we reach that engagement? So I'm going to walk you through steps one.
So as it relates to
strategies
driving
number one and
giving
number two.
back to the off. Okay, I can't hear him.
You are right. I cannot hear Jeff. So Jeff, I'm gonna follow your lips because we're gonna get through this like Hamptonians do. I'll pause, let you speak, and we'll lip read our way there. I'm going to go through strategies number one and number two. So let's talk about the idea of number one, really focusing on driving to drive giving back to HU via partnership with
Hey,
the
Kai, I
Alumni
can't hear
Association.
Taya.
And so when we think about these, the idea number one is supporting
Let me know where
reunion
he
giving,
stops at, since I can't hear.
supporting day of giving, supporting the alumni giving activities, and then collecting alums through the affinity groups. We've had a really strong partnership with the office this year, and we are really excited about the progress that we're making and really syncing up our strategies, our communications, so that we can really act as extensions of one another and be really thoughtful about how we will then show up to really serve the broader alumni database, the alumni population. Number two is driving NHAA chapter engagement. This is really important to us.
What's he sharing on now?
What we know is the lifeblood of the university has to really, of the alumni base, has to sit inside the chapters. So we want to be thoughtful about really strengthening up the overall chapter space that we have now. And there are four things we're going to do. One is to operationalize a national dues structure once it's been approved, and we are going through the approval process with the university now to be really thoughtful about how we can give alumni access and be able to drive folks in. As President Pemberton mentioned, we've been able to enact the member at large program. That was step one in this process, giving members who aren't geographically located to a chapter access to the association, so we can make sure that we are driving full equitable participation in the association. So we're going to continue that work as we move through. Next is to continue to fundraise for the gala. I am so excited about this. This has been a passion project of ours for the past few years. COVID got right in the way of that, but we've been actively planning and actively fundraising to really raise funds for the gala and for the Student Emergency Fund. We are, as President Pemberton mentioned, we are planning for an in-person event in 2022 so that we can really drive that home. I'll talk more about that on our next section. Next is to launch days of service. So we actually had one day of service that we partnered with the Office of Alumni Affairs on, and we're going to roll out a number of those. We found during COVID, given the disproportionate effects that African Americans are having to this pandemic, we want to make sure that we are there to support our broader community and our student and alumni base during this time. So we're going to continue to build days of service throughout the rest of this year into next year. And then lastly, to engage inactive members to really drive, to really think about how can we bring these inactive members back in and reclaim them back into the overall system. So now I'll throw it over to Jeff, who's going to walk you through the last of these strategies.
Okay, so one of the things that we like to encourage everybody to participate in And this has really been a great foundation for the Hampton legacy over the years, is actually the activity of chapters all around the country and some outside of the United States. One of the things that all of us can do to sort of help Hampton along, as Gina and Tyle have shared, is to make sure that they join a local chapter. This will give you the opportunity to not only participate in your local community, but it will also help you build Hampton University at large. One of the things that I have found that has greatly enhanced my ability to share my Hampton experience is through the work of chapters. Some of the things that the chapters have done is that they have supported local communities. We have supported students that are going to Hampton University. And of course, we have supported through fundraising efforts that continue to build the scholarship of students at Hampton University. I had a recent conversation with a new parent whose son was deciding where to go. And in my conversation with that parent, they noted that they liked all of the camaraderie and the way that the fill out throughout the United States, so that as new students are going in, these new students have a pool of people who they can talk to in their local area that can share their Hampton experience. As many of you know, the Hampton experience that we have had at Hampton has been great, and what we want to do is continue to share that with students that are coming in. So as it relates to bolstering the chapter, I would ask that for all of you that are on here, for you to consider to join a local chapter and participate. One of the things that we are looking for and encouraging is to reach out to younger alums to make sure that they are actually engaged as well. We want to make sure that these Hampton chapters are able to provide a diversity of activities that will support us seasoned folks as well as the young folks that are coming out at this time. And I think if you look at what has happened over the time that this administration of the NHAA has been in office, has greatly their ability to stretch out to the Hampton community. And I think in the chapters, that will do a lot of legacy. Thank you. Yes.
Yes. Great. So I'll walk you guys through our final piece. I'll walk us through the final piece here. So as we think about what are our asks right now, so really and Jeff has covered a lot of where we can begin to individually contribute and think through how we can bolster the association. We have a couple of things that we're trying to do. We are really looking to create an alumni giving committee. So we want to create a group of alumni who are a part of this, who are affiliated with chapters. And so it's really important, if you're interested, if you have experience in partnerships, experience in connections. There's a lot of funding right now being flown back into Black colleges. So we want to be very thoughtful about how do we partner with the university and the Office of Alumni Association, Alumni Affairs, to actually get those funds bought through. So if people have information, please send that over. And we actually want to start to build out a set of chapter and regional events that we want. So, and that should be May 8th. If people have information, please send it over to Jeff and I today of things you know that are happening. And then lastly, most importantly, as we start thinking about our gala for 2022, we are still on target to plan for to continue the plans that we built for the gala. And we want to continue that outreach to companies for partnership and sponsorship. If you at your individual company if you have access to your corporate responsibility groups or your groups that donate into nonprofits, please contact us. We're happy to come in and pitch. We would love to help you build a presentation to help think about how do you want to pitch your company to build that in. So with that, that is it. Thank you guys so much. We are so happy for your partnership.
Again, we'd like to thank all of you for your continued participation with Hampton and your love for Hampton. And as they say, we want you to continue to let your life do the singing, which is the way that we can also continue to give back to Hampton University. So thank you for joining us here today for our presentation.
Thank you, both Tyel and Jeff, and everyone that's still on the line. So the next, for the rest of the time here, I was going to be open to taking some questions, and I know there's been some questions that have come in. There was a question around what could the local chapters do, which Jeff covered off just shortly ago within his presentation around the drive to get more alumni engaged, et cetera. I totally agree with Jeff and Tyel's plan as it relates to the local chapters. I think there are ability to reach out to more of the people. So I think that is the most important impact that they can do is getting more alumni to sign up, and also working to help spread with students the opportunity to go to Hampton. So that to me is one of the greater things that they could be doing as a local chapter. One of the other questions that I received was, when will the national search begin for the university president? The board of trustees are the ones that manage the university president hiring process, and that process has already been underway for some time. So they are in the process of doing that search, and also, continuing on with it. So there is no update that would come from NHAA Inc. as it relates to that, but it's handled by the Board of Trustees. And I think there was another question in here. There was a question around, if you are a business owner but not in an area with an active chapter, how can you participate in the Pirate Perks program? The way that you can participate is by becoming a member at large. So a member at large that I spoke about before, we have on the website, I believe, a way to be able to pay your dues to be a member at large. And I think a link was put into the chat for you to be able to do that. Are there any other questions? And I think, so just give us a second, because they're transposing questions to me from the chat, because I can't see YouTube and see the notes there. What is the date of the gala of 2022? That's a great question, and inquiring minds want to know. We have not set the date. We have been waiting, obviously, to see what the reopening plan was going to look like. What I can say to you, though, is that we are planning to have the gala in the New York area, New York City area. So we're working now on landing on when that date will be. And Tyel did mention the Alumni Giving Committee. I will also mention that we're also looking for volunteers to join our different committees that we have on the board. So we have our Public Relations and Marketing Committee. They are looking for individuals that maybe have that background or an interest in it to join in and work with them. So if you have an interest or know someone that may want to join in, please forward them on to myself, or reach out to us via social to get connected. I think the Scholarship Committee is also looking for volunteers as it relates to their committee as well, to help with, and what they do is they work on choosing the endowed scholars, and working through the process as it relates to the emergency student fund as well, and what the criteria is. So they manage through all of those. So I'm not seeing any other questions. Is that the case?
Yeah.
I know Lainey mentioned that tomorrow we have the NHAA Inc. Memorial Service. Please take the time if you can to make that. That is the service that where we honor those Hamptonians that have gone on to glory. And so I would really recommend that you watch that. It's tomorrow from 9 to 10. And it is a great service that was put together by our current chaplain, Stephanie Joy Grigg, and we have some musical selections. It's a really great presentation, so I would recommend that you do attend that tomorrow morning. Okay, so I think we're gonna do a last ask for any questions. If not, then we will close out this session early. Give you some time on your Saturday. I was gonna say make your way to the picnic, but there's no picnic. That is a great question, and I think everyone heard the question because you're live. I'm sorry. The question was, what did the endowed scholarship participants do since we are all virtual? I believe the Office of Alumni Affairs gave them different items of work that they needed to do that was related to the office. So some of that might have been helping them with phone bank calls, as well as calling after giving. There were some things that they did that they could do locally, and they had to showcase and get sign off from wherever they worked. So if they helped an organization that was doing a food bank or something like that, they had to show proof of that. The next question is, can you distinguish between a class reunion leader, and the chapter leadership, local chapter leadership? So I think the class leader, I can speak to this very, very clearly. Class leader is someone that is specific only to your class. So, and they focus in on these reunion periods to drive giving and fellowship amongst their class only. A chapter president or leader is around making sure that those individuals that are within their chapter region are coming together in fellowship, and also as fundraisers. So, for example, I am also a member of the North Jersey chapter. So that area is where the president will, Bill Parrish is going to be reaching out to just that area of North Jersey alumni to drive them to come together and fellowship, and then also fundraise, etc. Whereas my class leader for the class of 1998, or my class leaders are Tayel and Centauria and Mawia, they strictly just talk to me as a class member. The memorial service link is actually been sent out by someone. Asked for the memorial service link in the chat. I believe that is being sent out by the Office of Alumni Affairs as the events come along. I will do a check to see if there's something we can put in the chat. If not, pay attention to your emails that are coming from the Office of Alumni Affairs. They're doing a real time sending out of things. One thing I forgot to mention as it relates to the class leader versus the chapter leader, a class leader has a 5-year term from reunion to reunion, and they're usually nominated as the class leader by their classmates. They remain active even though it's the year of their reunion, not just the reunion year, but all of those 5 years. Where a chapter lead is the leader for 2-year terms. Yolanda Thompson, I believe you wanted to reach out to Lainey. If you can put your information into the chat, we can pass that information on to Lainey so that she can contact you. All right, no more questions? They'll be sharing Lainey's email address in the chat for you, Yolanda. Oh, and then there was an ask about sharing the alumni giving train deck. The link for that is going to be put into the chat as well for those that ask for that. And all right, so it doesn't sound like there's any more questions. I've got like a person in my ear over here. It's like I'm a real newscaster, everyone. This is the only time it's going to happen in my life. So I'd like to say, no, if there are no more questions, thank you again for attending. I want to also give another congratulations to the reunion classes of 1 and 6, and a special congratulations to the golden classes, or the golden class of 1971, and then also a golden class congratulations to the class of 1970 who missed theirs last year. So looking forward to the celebration later today. Thank you for all of the things you're doing to make sure your lives are doing the singing. So that concludes our meeting. You all have a great Saturday.